phone knows what you have watched yesterday. AI. AI may not be what you are likely to click tomorrow. That algorithms can influence what you see, what you buy, what you believe, and sometimes even what you pay attention to. But here is the bigger question: who is influencing your choices? You or the technology you use? So today, as AI has become increasingly powerful, the conversation is no longer simply about what technology you can do. So welcome, I'm Prerna Vaswani. I'm the founder of Prerna Spreading Inspiration, which is an international podcast platform for inspiring journeys and meaningful conversations. So it's about what technology is doing to us and what we choose to do with it. So I welcome to all our global panelists. On topic we are discussing about digital well-being in the AI area. A very warm welcome to you all.
Thank you, Prerna.
Thank you, Prerna.
Thank you.
Thank you so much everyone for joining us and giving your precious time. So audience, I would like to introduce first our first guest, Adapa Sharath Kumar sir. So we often speak about technology through the lens of innovations, but innovation without governance raises a very important question: who makes sure that progress is actually creating institutions that can survive future? So joining us, Adapa Sharath Kumar sir, a board advisor, governance and transformation practitioner, institutional builder, and leadership thinker. Sharath Kumar sir, a very warm welcome to you, and I'm looking forward to bringing this conversation from technology into the question of how we build responsible institutions around it. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Basically, I'm extremely privileged and it's a great pleasure to be part of this panel. It's a great panel. I'm somewhat odd out actually because I'm actually not a technology guy at all. I'm a non-technology guy. Got into technology, and see, I'm look at from a human perspective everything, especially AI. And if you ask me any technical questions, I won't be able to answer, right? So,
No
so that's
issues.
what being a board member, being a board member. I've been a board member for the last 4.5 years, and before that, I was in 25 years in corporate world, management, senior management roles, and coming to yeah, now being apart from being a board of many companies, I also coach and guide many independent directors who want to become a potential board members also. So that's been my basic this thing. Coming to this particular this, artificial intelligence is undoubtedly the defining technology of our generation. But I believe the real conversation is not about artificial intelligence. It is about authentic intelligence. I'm repeating once again. It's about authentic intelligence. Every generation is remembered for the technology it created, but history remembers that generation for the values with which it used that technology. Well, the fire could cook food or burn civilizations, and the internet could democratize knowledge or spread misinformation. AI is no different.
Hi.
The future will not be decided by artificial intelligence. It will be decided by human intelligence, emotional intelligence, and moral intelligence. As I often say, AI is changing the speed of the world. Values must continue to determine its direction. That I believe is our collective responsibility. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And next guest we are having Vaidyanathan sir. So our next panelist is Vaidyanathan Venkatraman sir.
Yes.
He is having more than 35 years of enterprise leadership, and he is IICA certified independent director. So welcome to you, sir.
So, thank you
Very
very
warm
much.
welcome.
Just like how this AI is Yeah, thank you very much. So wanted to give one small live example of how the AI is impacting the young ones, and especially in C and all that. Example for Google had uh, given lead hub, the AI powered lead forecasting piloted in the Bihar, and they give to 7 days in advance. So and 80 countries, they are protecting over 460 million people. So a Bihar study found alerted communities had 30% lower post-flood medical cost. So this AI is turning data into precious lead time. One live example of how AI is being used nowadays protect people from the flooding and all that. So this is one small example which I want to share it with you.
Thank you so much, Vaidyanathan, sir. And your perspective is especially
Hello.
important today because the digital future needs only the innovation but judgment, oversight, and accountability.
Yeah.
So next guest we are having Mr. Gagan sir. He is cybersecurity and AI governance leader with more than 30 years of experience in global technology leadership experience. So a very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you, Prerna. It's really very good to be part of this conversation, and I'm really humbled to see your esteemed guest, and I'm part of this conversation. Uh, I don't want to go into details about my past. You already have done it,
Yes,
but I spent most of my career working with technology and predominantly around cybersecurity and identity. And one thing that I've learned is that every new technology brings two things. First is opportunity, and second is responsibility. And with this AI, the balance between responsibility and opportunity has become even more important. So for me, digital well-being is really about making sure that we remain in control of the technology rather than the technology making technology start making choices for us, right? So that's the key thing for me from digital well-being perspective. Another thing I also want to add here is that generally we talk about screen time is synonymous to digital well-being, but in reality with the advent of AI, uh, you can take an example of two person. One is spending 4 hours screen time, other also spending 4 hours screen time. But the first person
yes,
is spending those 4 hours screen time connecting, collaborating, creating something, right, into knowledge generation. Whereas the other person is being driven by some algorithm, simply scrolling the screen and all. And he or she is able to see whatever algorithm is showing. So for me, that's more important now. It's more than screen time is more important is digital well-being now. So what you see, and
yes.
that's what I said, that don't let technology control you. We should be remaining in control of the technology, right? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gagan sir, for your wonderful introduction and perspective. And I think that your perspective would be very important, which will help us to understand the invisible side of the digital world and the risk we don't always see until it's too late. So next panelist, we are having Dr. Anita Powell. She is from USA and she holds the doctorate in metaphysics and sociocentric psychology. And she focuses deeply on self-awareness and inner peace. And she has got many global accolades. So a very warm welcome to you, ma'am, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank, thank you so much, Prerna. This is absolutely my pleasure and honor. Well, for me, I'm approaching this as a consumer. I do not have like the technology background and the experience, and I'm coming toward it as my personal experience with AI. One, I had to do a little bit of research and everything for this particular for this particular platform to learn some things. And one thing I learned that some of the AI, it's generative, trained transformers like that Chat GPT. But the main thing that I keep in awareness that it is artificial. And then I even looked up, although I know what artificial means, but I even looked up what is artificial. And artificial is man made. So that means it is not real, it is not of nature. Now, for me as a consumer, I had to really come to grips with, because with AI, when I first started using it, I would use it for some things, but I found myself using it for more and more and more things. I would just say something, I want to create a message on this, maybe a sentence. And then AI, Perplexity, Claude, whoever, whichever, would create this. Well, because I specialize in self awareness, I began to notice myself, look at you. You're losing your creativity because you are depending on so much of this artificial means to create something for you. So I backed away. And now, I don't use it as much as I used to. And for me, my thing is, and I hear so much about AI and AI, artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence. I hear so much about it now, and I think about when I was first in school, when we did math, we had to do it in our head, and then came the calculators, and then came something else. And this is something that reminds me of this the progressiveness of things. And for me, I think you know we need to be more conscious, aware of how much information or how much we pay attention or how much we give attention to AI and how much less we give to having people saying, hey, learn yourself, learn who you are, and not through AI, but learn through yourself and understand that this artificial intelligence is merely a tool to use to help you grow
Yes.
who you are, to build who you are, but not be the creator of it. So I'm very careful of this, and the more I see so much about the information of how AI is taking over, to me it seems like that I'm saying, okay, are we becoming more robotical, whether we know it or not? You know what I mean? Just one thing, I'll sum this up, that I noticed, I may go on my credit union online, and there is a computer AI checking to see if I'm human versus vice versa. To me, that's big. To me, that's big.
Yes.
And we need to be watchful of how we allow this thing to grow. That's my take on
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you so
generally
much, Anita.
call it cognitive outsourcing, Anita, what you just mentioned in technical term.
Yeah.
Called as cognitive outsourcing, right? Where
it.
people
Outsourcing.
cognitive outsourcing. So where people
Oh,
stop thinking and they start
okay.
thinking that AI is doing everything for us. So
Yeah.
convenience takes over actually, right? So that's a really good point. And yeah, but yeah, I don't want to take Sangeeta's bandwidth. So I just thought I mention that
Okay.
terminology
So
because you
out.
mentioned it.
Okay. So you
Yes,
said
yes,
it's called cognitive outsourcing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you.
so next panelist we are having Mrs. Sangeeta Gomes. She is digital innovation manager. She is having 15 years of experience across the sectors, including AEC, healthcare, and enterprise technology. So, Sangeeta ma'am, once again, a very warm welcome to you. And
Yeah.
I'm particularly curious that about your perspective on how young professionals can remain human, relevant, and future ready while technology keeps changing the rules.
So thank you, Prerna, for the introduction and bringing us together actually for this very important conversation. So if you see AI, even young students, like my daughter, she is in grade two, she is being taught about AI. So even how AI will help India to be a Viksit Bharat. So yesterday we just made a poster for that. So it is actually being taught in the school from so I mean, for such as young children's. So if you see, we are living in a world which is where the technology is evolving faster, and now comes AI. So AI can think faster, work faster, and even influence how we think. But then we are losing the very important factor, which is humanity. So we should not allow technology to amplify our should like actually amplify our humanity, but not replace it. So I'm actually looking forward to sharing a few thoughts on how we can use AI to become better and faster rather than being replaced by AI. So yeah.
Wonderful, Sangeeta ma'am. And before we begin this conversation, I want to set one intention for this conversation. Yes, we will share our real experiences wherever it is possible and give the audience something they can actually take away and use in their personal lives. So, my first question to Adapa sir, I want to ask that AI is already searching for them in their classrooms, workspaces, phones, and platforms. So AI is transforming education, careers, everyday life towards us. So how can young people embrace AI as a powerful tool while ensuring it enhances, not replaces critical thinking, creativity, and human skills? Your insights, please.
Yeah, thank you, Prerna. If I had to answer this in one sentence, I would say don't compete with AI, learn to collaborate with it. Let me explain. Every technological revolution has created fear, actually. When calculators arrived, people thought children would stop doing mathematics. And when Google arrived, people feared memory would disappear. And today, AI has become the latest source of anxiety. But history teaches us something. Technology doesn't replace people. People who use technology wisely replace those who don't. So basically, you see, that's the answer generally I give when people say that whether we would lose our jobs or not and all that stuff. Because I keep getting this kind of this question everywhere, wherever I go, in any conference, any workshop, or any webinar or any podcast. So that is a real lesson. I keep saying that AI will not replace jobs; it will replace irrelevance. So I believe AI should become your learning partner, never your thinking substitute. And today, many students ask AI, give me the answer. That is the generally the most students give this question to the AI. I think they should instead ask, help me understand the problem, because education is not about correcting answers. Education is about learning and how to ask better questions. The future belongs to people who ask extraordinary questions, not ordinary ones. The second point I want to make is about creativity. Many people think creativity will disappear because AI can now write, design, compose music, and even generate video. I disagree with that. AI can generate content. Only human beings can generate context. So AI knows information. Human beings understand emotion. AI predicts patterns. Human beings imagine possibilities. That difference will always matter. The third point is about critical thinking in the AI era. Knowledge is becoming a commodity. Judgment is becoming a premium. Of course, judgment is becoming premium everywhere because I come from the boardroom, so I know how much judgment has become the premium over there. People who will lead
Yes,
tomorrow will not necessarily know the most. They will be the ones who make the best decisions. And finally, I want to tell every young person something from my own journey. I moved across diagnostics, consumer products, telecom, advertising, entrepreneurship, and finally the boardroom. Every new role demanded that I become a student again. Learning never stopped. AI simply makes learning even more important. Don't fear AI, fear becoming comfortable. And because comfort is a much bigger threat than technology. So my message to every young person is simple: use AI every day, but spend at least 1 hour every day doing something AI cannot do for you. Like think deeply, read a book, Observe people and read a book. I don't mean that reading a Kindle version. I want a proper physical book. I'm talking about reading physical books. Observe people, have meaningful conversation, develop empathy, because that is where leadership begins. And three practical habits I will tell you before I end this. If I may leave three habits for every student. First is ask AI for ideas, not conclusions. Second, every day learn one new technology and one new human skill. Uh, Third one is never stop asking why, because curiosity is the engine of innovations. And finally, I'll give you four while ending. So four quotations for that. Use AI to find answers. Use your mind to discover meaning. The future belongs to those who ask better questions, not merely faster answers. AI can accelerate learning. Only curiosity creates wisdom. Your greatest competitive advantage will never be the artificial intelligence. I'm once again repeating, your greatest competitive advantage will never be artificial intelligence. It will always be authentic intelligence. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And just we'll move on faster way because as we are in having the limited time. So my next question is having to Vaidyanathan, sir. So, sir, as
Yeah.
we are living in the economy where businesses compete for our intention, and our phones doesn't just connect information anymore. They compete with everything else happening in our lives. So in today's digital world, our attention has become valuable commodity. So how do algorithms shape the way young people think and consume information and make decisions, and how can they regain control of their digital lives?
Yes. Very good question. I will start like this. Today's attention is currency. Okay, so every app is which are in use by so many youngsters and everyone is engineered by the psychologist and data scientist with one goal, simple goal: keep you scrolling. So that's all applications are based on that. So algorithms learns what triggers you, then outrage comparison, FOMO, and feed you more of it. So what we need to do this over time. This shapes not just what you watch, but how you think and decide. So you have to start reacting instead of reflecting. So what we need to do to regain the control? So we need to set application timers and actually honor them. So that will curate your feed with intention. Unfollow what drains you. Schedule daily input. Free hours to think without the feed's influence. Remember, every click, and pause is training the algorithm to hold you longer. So make your clicks count. See, basically, nowadays, even if you ask me, this is what in nutshell I can explain this. Even I'm also following this kind of small logic, and I also while using Instagram or Facebook or whatever it is, though as per the algorithms, it will coming on. It instinct you to scroll, but I make the control there and I switch over.
Yes. Thank you so much, Vaidyanathan, sir. You have given such a wonderful insights. Yes, we should keep the some time limits to the algorithms and to any application which we are using. So, Gagan, sir, would you like to add anything in that?
Was it for me?
Yes, about this.
I just want to, I think both Mr. Adapa and Mr. Vaidyanathan had made very good points. I simply want to say something in nutshell, which will summarize both of them what they have said. We should own the technology and let not technology own you. Right? That is what is more important. The day technology starts owning you, that's the most dangerous thing, whether it's AI or something else. When calculators came, people started using calculators for mathematical calculation. But if you stop learning basic mathematics and think only calculator will do things for me, then that is not a development, right? You are so same is happening in AI also. I think everyone has raised similar points that you don't let the creativity die, right? And don't let the convenience overpower you. In cybersecurity, convenience is a major problem. People say, I'll reuse the old passwords convenient, I bypass this thing convenient.
Yes.
Right? So the way convenience start overtaking you, that's a problem. So if you let AI
Yes.
think for you, if you think let AI build for you, if you let AI take decisions for you, it's a problem. You should be able to question at the right time, right? So that is the main thing.
Yes. Wonderful perspective, sir. And yes, Dr. Anita, ma'am, I would like to ask you that as we are using AI these days, we are making uh, faces and images, we are creating images to the AI. So with AI generated content, that becoming increasing convincingly. So what are the biggest risks of deep fakes and misinformation for young people? And what digital literacy skills are now essential globally, according to you?
Okay, yeah. So, and thank you for this question. Absolutely, because again, I had to do some research with this. I didn't even know what deep fakes were. Okay, so I found out the deep fakes are actually just fake images. Now, with AI, I did as a consumer. Again, I'm coming as a consumer, not as an expert. As a consumer, I noticed with artificial intelligence there has been some misinformation. So we have to, the young people, young youth and young adults need to be aware that there is misinformation. For instance, as I indicated, I'm a Michigan unemployment appeals advocate, which means I'm a representative for Michigan unemployed workers. I have to know unemployment law. Okay, there are times that I have gone on to AI to ask for, because law changes, especially since COVID, to ask for are there other different has there been additions to the law, or I would ask a question and I know the answer. I ask the question, and a few times AI had given me incorrect information, which I didn't indicate. So that's incorrect information. There were times even with AI when I would say this is the correct answer, and it said we need to keep this in the database because this we didn't know this information. So I'm only saying that to say that as far as with the deep fakes and the misinformation, that is very risky for youth and young adults because I was just looking up. We already have globally, one uh, suicide. Die by suicide is the third leading cause of youth and young adults taking their lives. This can be this can exacerbate or increase that number. My position is we as mature adults, we as mentors or guiders, as parents, it doesn't matter the age of that person that is utilizing the AI tool. I think it's up to us to make sure that we not necessarily micromanage, but know what our youth and young adults what they are absorbing as far as what the misinformation and all of that. And again, that they've got to be aware of themselves. Just like one of the biggest risks is like the bullying. There's bullying, harassment, abuses going on with this deep fake and misinformation. And I noticed, I just went on, I said, okay, when doing this, thank you for it again, because I've learned so much because I'm part of this. I said, oh my God. I started noticing, like, well, with Chat GPT, it says at the bottom, check your sources because this can be misinformation. It says it right down there. So I did check other artificial intelligence sites, and not all of them say that. So I said, okay, there's some of these sites that don't even say that. Youth and young adult or whoever, whatever, whether we're seasoned adults and not seasoned adults, whatever stage we are in life, we need to understand, okay, now we need to check these sources because that's what we do as people. We don't just take what people say as as the gospel. We check. And then also understanding what is the motivation. What is the motivation behind the information that I am receiving? Because somebody put it in there. You know what I mean? So we're watching for biases and different things like that. So, we need to be accountable, youth and young adults, be accountable, understand, but you got to know who you are. You got to know what you're accountable for. So on that part, it's more so I think us older people I think we should be accountable for ensuring that our youth and young adults are using this thing correctly. I really do.
Thank you so much, Anita ma'am, for giving this extensive insights about this. And yes, Sangeeta ma'am, would you like to add anything in that?
Sure. I would just take one live example. So, few days back, I was just experimenting with one of the app wherein it took the control of my LinkedIn, and without my knowledge, it started commenting, it started liking somebody's, I mean, anyone's post, anyone and everyone's post. So, I mean, this is so dangerous. If we allow AI to control everything, it becomes so dangerous. It can make or break somebody's reputation.
Yes. So wonderful example you have given. So Vaidyanathan sir, as we have talked about the algorithms and information. So young people are more connected than ever, and get many report feeling more isolated, anxious, and overwhelmed. So what practical strategies would you like to share that can help create them a healthier relationship with technology while protecting mental well-being? Vaidyanathan sir?
I think his photo is frozen. Maybe I'm not able to
Okay.
listen.
He might be on mute.
Are connected
Yes,
than
sir.
ever. So I'm on. Hello. I'm on. Hello.
I think he has a
I'm audible.
connection issue.
Yes, sir. You're audible now.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because some network is I don't know what is no network problem. I'm audible now. Yes.
Yes, sir.
I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So many young people they are more connected than ever. Still, they are more isolated and more overwhelmed. So, what will happen? Constant notification, fragment attention, and curated feeds. They are filling they are fueling the comparison. So that result into sleep and mental health. Both pay the price. So practical strategies, what we need to do is protect the edges of your day. No phone at meals. That we need to make a constant habit of it, which I am following very strictly. So during meals, I will not take the phone, even if it rings for important calls also come in. I don't take it, and none in the first or the last hour of after working or before sleep. So then create then you consume. Creativity has to be there, and replace passive scrolling with writing, building, or moving. So you that, and you need to build a real work or one hobby or one sport, one offline friendship mediated by a screen. So, for example, say I also I use very limited social media sites. Example, is it only LinkedIn? I will be more concentrated on LinkedIn. Instagram, not very rarely I going to Instagram. Facebook once in a month or twice in a month. So LinkedIn, because I am used in very heavily, because I need to do a brand with a personal branding. So that's where the
Yes.
younger people has to make their planning. Yeah. Hello.
So thank you so much, Vaidyanathan sir. You have given us wonderful insights that yes, the last hour before sleep, that is more important. We should cut off the digital timing. Yes, so Adapa sir, would you like to add something?
Yeah, see, I generally feel that today what most of them require is like for people, most of them is that mostly, especially young people, like people ask me what do you call what skills they need to have actually. So I'll just briefly I'll tell you that just put it in a simple. Most people ask me this, and what in the AI era, the first you should have is that emotional intelligence, and that is very critical, very critical. And when we are looking at everything for artificial intelligence, emotional intelligence becomes a premium. The next is because I come from a advertising background. I spent some 5.5 years over half a decade in advertising and marketing. So creativity is something which you should come on. You should have. That is something, and I'm not saying that you should. If you are in marketing and advertising, then only you need to have creativity. I'm talking about all domains. All domains should have creativity. Any student of that particular any whether he is in sales, finance, whichever domain he is coming from, everybody should have creativity. That is the second one. The third one is that because of we are in a decade of disruption, right? And this decade where we entered just now, 2026 to 2035, that will be a decade of disruption because you will have a lot of disruptions apart from AI. Like Gagan, we keep saying about cybersecurity, and then you have climate change, you have so many things coming up. You have geopolitical issues. As right now, you are already witnessing what is happening in the state of Hormuz, and it is
Yes,
affecting the entire world, across the world, from Australia to Alaska. So,
correct.
what will be the fourth one is will be required. Third one is resilience. Because resilience economies, resilient people, resilient employees will create great organizations, great countries, and great economies. And that will be resilient economies generally go GDP at least by 3 to 4% on an average. So, so you need to have the resilience factor. And the fourth one is social influence. Everybody should have a social influence. Of course, the social influence generally people I'm talking about social media, but everybody should have some following. Unless you have some following across whichever media you use, I'm not saying that you should use all the social medias wherever you are. But wherever you are, you're spending more time. Like I spend more time in LinkedIn. I don't you I do have accounts on Twitter and Facebook, but I rarely use them actually. And Instagram, I'm totally out of that. So because it doesn't it doesn't match my personality at all. So most of it. So I'm spending because I spend most of my time in LinkedIn. So you need to have social influence. So I might be having some around 25,000 followers as of now. But of course, it took me some 19 years, you can say. So that is one thing which helps you in getting jobs, in getting roles, in getting new opportunities. I got all my opportunities roles across only because of the network. I didn't apply anywhere
Yes,
wherever I have worked. Where I have never applied in my entire 30 years of career. I just because of some or other networks happened or some or other people saw me on social media or somewhere they called me. And fifth one I will tell you is very important. This is very critical. And the fifth skill which you need to have is proactiveness. You have to be very proactive. You have to think, you should not be reactive at all. You have to anticipate. You start anticipating things. And I can tell you, coming from boardrooms and across the world, most of the global boardrooms, because I've worked in global boardrooms also, most of them are very reactive. जब कुछ होगा तभी हम कुछ करेंगे types, that kind of stuff. So you can't
yes,
be on that kind of you don't have that kind of luxury now. You have to anticipate things. What will happen? So you have to become some kind of a I keep telling my boardroom colleagues that we are all like some kind of an astrologist, you know. You should know what is that? Palmistry. You should know what is that? There is some stars, something like that. Then there is some tarot card kind of thing. So every boardroom guy has to be something, some astrology. He has to tell future in next 2 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line, what is going to happen with your organization or maybe the country. So wherever you are working. So these are the
Thank you
five
so much.
thing I am. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. As we have to cover almost, I would say, I want to cover so many things in such a short span of time. So please excuse me for that. So let's move towards the from personal well-being to the collective responsibility as we are having expert Mr. Gagan Mathur, sir. So as AI is continuously to evolve, so what ethical responsibilities do governments, educational institutions, technology companies, and parents, also including individuals, share in creating a safer and more inclusive digital future? Your insights, please.
Yeah, thank you, Prerna. And I think it's really a very, very good question. And what my opinion here is that you cannot hold one stakeholder or one person who owns the responsibility of AI, or we can say responsible AI does not sit with one stakeholder, right? Each one of these people, whatever you mentioned, they actually have a role to play and their role is different. So, to start with, our government needs to provide the guardrails, right? So they set up the guidelines, they set a policy about AI, how it is to be used, how it cannot be used. All those guidelines and all should be coming from our government. Then comes the technology companies. The technology companies have a very important role to play because they are the ones who are developing the product. So they have to ensure that the product that they are developing, it contains safety, it contains privacy and transparency. So government makes the handrails, guide rails, and technology company ensures that their product is having privacy, safety, transparency. When I say transparency, simply that you ask AI to take a decision. I think Madam Anita mentioned a while back. So she asked the question, AI took a decision. But what made AI take the decision? What did it follow? Which path did it follow? That's a transparency here, right? Because in AI world, we call data is a fuel to the AI, and like she mentioned, biasness and all that can be inherited in the data. So those transparency is very important. Education students in institutions come third. So they have to go beyond just teaching people AI. Teaching people AI can do on online also. Don't need to go to an institution for that. What these institutions need to ensure is that need to teach people how to question it, how to question AI, and recognize when it may be wrong. There may be times like we have seen so far in discussion, many people have mentioned that AI took a wrong decision or they were not happy with it. And that's a real thing. Even when you do something, you are not sure about it, question it and accept that things can go wrong. So that is what institutions or colleges, institutes need to do. And then there comes the responsibility to us as an individuals or as parents. Now, in today's era, people tend to share many things online. You share your pictures, you share where you went, and all these things are happening, in different type of form. So we have to decide what informations we will share, what tools we will use, and most importantly, how much we allow technology to influence our decisions. My decision making can be well informed using technology, but I cannot let technology dictate what decision I will take. So, from where I see, this is a shared responsibility. The regulations will provide guardrails, but ultimately, responsible technology depends upon responsible people who are using it. And the technology is moving very fast, very quickly. Our ability to use it responsibly has to keep the pace of this technology development. So if we are not using the responsibility pace at the pace which technology is growing, then we are losing out. That's what my thing is. I mean, I had a lot to share, but I'm conscious about the time. So I'll let others take their own bandwidth.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful insights. Yes, it's a shared responsibility, I can say. Sangeeta, ma'am, would you like to add something?
Um, yes, as Gagan already mentioned, that we need to ask the important questions, which I was going to cover in the next in my answer. So the asking right questions are is very important. We have heard a lot of news that the newspaper the team had used AI and it came out, and there have been instances where the production codes were deleted because of AI, and there also have been instances where the reports were shared and then it was realized it was made using AI and the facts and figures were incorrect, due to which there were a lot of huge losses to be covered. So yes, we need to use it responsibly.
Thank you so much, Sangeeta ma'am. And yes, Anita ma'am, I would like to ask you that we have spoken more about these systems, platforms, algorithms, and ethics. But I want to bring us back to something technology cannot measure completely. So, how can young people preserve empathy, meaningful relationships, emotional intelligence, and face-to-face communication? Because in an increasingly AI-driven, we are always connected, but still we are physically disconnected. Your insights, please.
Yeah, again, I was thinking, and thank you so much, Prerna, for this question, because I was thinking, when I was growing up, we had a real presence. We played outside. We played with each other. We played games. Now, the children or even adults. I mean, I can go to a restaurant and I do it on purpose. I look around to see how many people are on their phone playing with some type of game, doing some type of AI kind of thing. And as you were asking me the question, it just popped into my head. Perhaps this is all a design thing. I mean, call me crazy, but I was thinking. I said first came these cell phones, and how often and how much we stay on the cell phone, how we've come so dependent on these cell phones and take it with us all the time, and then now we integrate this AI. What are we doing? We're on this AI and these phones so long and so uh, um, yeah, so long during the day and throughout the days and the weekends and everything that I believe we need to go back. History, what is it? History repeats itself, and we can't know where we're going if we don't know where we've been. And if we have a society that is laced with being on this cell phone or iPods and whatever these technological instruments that we use, then we're kind of going into, it's kind of almost like, how do we share with people to get back to that real presence? How do I share with the youth who's now so into the phone, isolated in cognitive, what was that word? Cognitive uh, outsourcing, as you indicated. How do we get to people to say, or children say, hey, you need to preserve your empathy? Well, what empathy? I'm on the phone. How do it? Now it's to the point. It's like you may have to go back to the beginning, because it's like we're saying, okay, we want to you want to preserve your empathy, you want to preserve your emotional intelligence. What? I'm on this thing. I've been using this apparatus for years, since almost a baby, and now I'm at this age, and I'm not talking about all. I'm not talking about the whole of society, but a lot. Now I've gotten used to my brain, my frontal cortex, and all this stuff has gotten used to this type of absorption, this type of information. So when I speak of someone saying, "Oh, you want to build a real presence," you want to start, having meals, or put the phone down when you're eating dinner, have a conversation, and these kind of things. So then it's, you know, again, it's like, where do we start now? Because this has already been going on for years. So now, how do we now interject? Okay, you wanna up the game on your emotional intelligence. You wanna preserve your empathy. You want to have meaningful relationships. Okay, so where do we start now with our youth and young adults who are so ingrained in the technology and the AI? Where do we start with this?
Yes. wonderfully explained, ma'am, that yes, we should be conscious while using, at least we should be isolated using mobiles while having food or dinner or lunch. So it should be like that digital detox. Sometimes at least we should start with 15 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day. That will keep us engaging with the real communications rather than that online communications. So thank you so much, Anita ma'am, for this insights. And yes,
Thank
over to you, Sangeeta ma'am. I would like to ask you that yes, as we were talking about the young people that need some protection. So, what are the most important skills, mindsets, and values that students and young professionals should develop today to remain relevant, employable, and future ready in the age of AI?
Good question, Prerna. So I believe today the most important skill is in this AI era is adaptability. That is the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Now, we when we were born in the era where there were no mobile phones, and now young children, I mean, even within few months they are born, we give them mobile phones. So technology is adopting very fast, evolving very fast. What is relevant today might not be relevant tomorrow. So being future ready is not mastering a particular tool. It is about being comfortable with the change and having the mindset to continuously learn. Now, if you see today, the AI can build reports, it can write code, it can create contents, analyze data, prepare presentation, etc. But important question here is, does it really make sense? Is the information which is provided by AI correct? What is missing? What decision should we take? What decision should we take? And what decision should be analyzed? So this is where the human intelligence becomes very important. And I think, for according to me, there are four things which the young professional needs to develop. First is literacy, AI literacy. Yes, it is important to understand what AI can do and today and what it cannot do today. So that is AI literacy. Second and most important thing is critical thinking. Do not blindly accept the answer because AI has produced it. So we generally hear, okay, but AI has given this answer. But is it really correct? You need to validate that. Third important thing is creativity and problem solving. So yes, use AI to explore possibilities, ideas, but then bring your own ideas also to the table. And fourth skill, that is human skill. So we generally what we are I mean what we are at is like what we I'm sorry. So yeah, so our skills, what basically communication, empathy, collaboration, leadership. So these are very important, and this becomes very valuable. This will help us to handle AI in our routine work in a better way. So also I would like to tell young people that don't be afraid of AI. Don't be afraid that it will make you irrelevant. Be afraid that somebody will, if you refuse to learn, be afraid of that. If you stop learning, you will not grow. So, yeah, that's
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Sangeeta ma'am, for this wonderful perspective. And yes, we should not blindly believe AI. हमें जो है cross check भी करना चाहिए. The facts we should cross check accordingly. And yes, we'll move towards to the Gagan Mathur sir. So now let's talk about the something about, yes, most of us would agree, and just say about our digital footprint. So every click, search, and post that leaves a digital footprint. So what should young people understand about online privacy, data security, and protecting their digital identity in this AI area?
Yeah, again, a very great question. I'm sure that after this podcast ends, I will be on the hit list of all young people because getting all questions about young people. So, but anyways, I think what I would like to tell all the young generation, or they call Gen Z nowadays, I think Gen Alpha also is coming up. So that digital identity, I mean, whatever digital identity a person is having, it is almost as important as your physical identity. And I'll explain you why. So generally, what do you happen till now when we talk about cybersecurity or security? What comes to your mind? Passwords, OTPs, phishing, and the multiple phishing, smear phishing, this phishing, that phishing. So we have a lot of phishing there, and those things still matter, right? I'm not saying these don't matter, but what is happening is with the advent of AI era, that picture is changing now. So just think about. I'll give you example, right? I think I covered in a previous question also. How much information do you share voluntarily, right? You go to a trip, you post online, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp status, many places. We tell people where we are traveling. We tell where we work. We even tell what my kid got. My kid got award. I'll put a post on the WhatsApp status, right? And my relationships with people, if I have marriage anniversary, I put a WhatsApp status. My love gifted me this thing, right? That's what people do. And then my opinion. So, right, I recently example I can take in this. You have a NEET protest in Delhi. A lot of people are putting WhatsApp status, Instagram reels, knowing that still whatever there is happening is might be having some gray area or fishy thing, but still people want to put their opinions. Now, what happens is, as an individual, these things in isolation or individually may think very less important to you. You know what one poster will do, one what photo will do. But what AI does is it starts connecting dots. It's it and what picture, what things it can make a detailed person you can't even imagine. It can develop the entire personality of a person using all these things. And AI is making things very easier. It's very faster. I have to simply put few information. I can get an entire digital identity of yours, which we call digital twin also nowadays. So digital twin is what that your personality, your persona exists in digital world also, which you may not be even aware. So now things is no more protecting your digital things like OTPs and all. It is you have to also protect how people may perceive you, how you may be thought on the internet as a personality. So in today's world, I can easily fool any computer system by making it believe I am Prerna, I am Sangeeta, I am this, I am that. It's very simple. The moment I go to your personal profiles, all these Facebooks, I can create a persona, I can make impression about you, and I can hack your account. I don't have to break anything. I simply have to make it believe that I am you. So my advice is very simple. Pause before you share. Whatever you want to share to young people, please pause and think that do I really need to share this? And maybe you can think that 5 years down the line, will I be comfortable or proud of what I shared 5 years back? And again, I'm not saying that don't be focused on multi-factor authentication, what we call MFA, password, all these things still stay there. But cybersecurity is no longer about protecting password. It's about protecting your identity, your reputation, very, very important, and about a digital footprint. And please don't be afraid of technology. I hear a lot of people saying AI will take jobs, AI will do this. Nothing. It's a simple tool for you, right? So you don't have to be afraid of it. You just have to be intentional about what you give to it. That is very important. And what I can also say is cybersecurity is no longer about just protecting your password. It's about protecting your reputation and everything. So just ensure that, right? In older days, we used to say that you go, when you install an app, it says, I agree, and then you press the button. So that thing is no more there. You don't need to give any consent because you are sharing your everything on the online. So no one needs to consent anymore, right? Willfully you're putting everything online. So be aware of that, at what people can make out of those tidbits of information being shared online. That's it. Thanks, Prerna.
Thank you so much, Gagan sir, for giving us practical key takeaways. Yes, we should pause before sharing information to AI or on any digital platform. So, Vaidyanathan sir, would you like to add something as you are also connected to the youth generation?
You're asking me?
Vaidyanathan sir.
Hello?
Yeah. Yes, Prerna. I'm audible now. Yeah. See, what I want, I'm not an ego security and not, but I am expert in practical things. as everybody says that everybody needs to learn AI, they should not get fear out of it. So even if you say, if I take me my example, if you ask me what is AI and all before 8 months, I should have no answer. But I know only ChatGPT, I heard of it. But within these 8 to 9 months, I have learned a lot of things in AI. And in my official work also, I have started using AI to to create documents, contents, and everything. So it is a learning process. And second thing is for the youngsters, they should use these with much care and taking what Gagan says, the AI is very powerful and it takes all the informations and it connects all the dots and it creates your identity. So we should think
Yes.
that and we should not share everything. And second thing is when you are using AI, you need to ask the questions. So for example, my younger daughter told me that don't take the answer what AI gives as it is. You ask the question again. You ask in the negative way, ask the question, then it will come up with the positive answer. So that's I learned
Yes.
from her. And second thing, what I'm doing is, I suppose I want to take some answer for one AI tool, LLM. I take that and I ask the same thing with the another LLM. For example, Claude. So Claude will say something different, slightly, and ChatGPT will say something slightly. I'll take both the things. I'll go to the another LLM and I'll ask the same thing, and it will give the different one. Then what I'll do, all
Yes.
the three I'll compare it, and then I'll take my own decision. So where I need
Right.
to say where I need to this thing. So this is one example. So we
I
should
think
not
you were
take
playing
as it is
Chinese whisper with
one
AI tools.
LLM what it says.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just want to add something to
this is
Mr.
what
What Vaidyanathan was saying
my
that,
advice.
Yes,
sorry,
sir.
you sure. So it's no more about digital well-being now, right? It's all about decision well-being. Digital well-being is gone. What is now is
Yeah,
decision
Correct.
well-being. What decision you have to delegate to AI and what should not go there, right?
Agreed.
Yes. Yes. Truly agree. And Anita ma'am, before going to Adapa sir, Anita ma'am, as you are the global chair of G100 Youth Engagement Wing, so would you like to add one line in this? Your insights?
Well, I just found this platform very, very, very informative. I've learned so much from all of you all. So thank you so much. Yeah, as the global chair with youth engagement, everything that was said here, this platform really needs to get spread so that
Yes.
youth and young adults and adults and seasoned adults can actually hear and listen and watch this video to see exactly what's going on, and as all of you have said, not to be afraid of it, because one thing that I did as I was listening to everybody, I said, well, there's one thing that I do enjoy about AI. I enjoy the precision of the English language itself. So I enjoy when I write something and then I'll say, okay, polish this for me. And I love
Yes.
how it does that. I really
Right.
do. I
Yes.
even said, well, I wish I could write like I mean, you know what I mean? So,
Wonderful.
but
Wonderful.
yeah, yeah. So I would just say that everything that was stated here is absolutely important and that it should be, everyone should know about this information. Absolutely. And I love that about, I'm thinking password phishing and all that, that no, cybersecurity, our identity, what we post. I
Yes.
never thought of that.
Thank you so much, Anita ma'am, for adding your insights. So moving towards to the Adapa sir. Uh, before, but I don't want this conversation to feel that young people should feel afraid of the technology because AI has become so much powerful tools humanity has created. So beyond its challenges, Adapa sir, I would like to ask you that beyond its challenges, AI has enormous potential to solve global problems. So, how can young innovators leverage AI responsibility to drive positive social impact, sustainability, healthcare, education, and entrepreneurship? Your insights, please.
Great.
Great. This is one of the favorite questions, so that's why I opted it actually. Because whenever we discuss AI, we spend too much time asking. This is the only thing which most people gather to ask actually. Will AI take my job? That is the across the globe people have this question actually. But I think we should ask a much bigger question actually. Can AI help solve humanity's biggest problem? That changes the entire conversation. Imagine AI helping doctors diagnose diseases earlier, helping farmers predict rainfall, helping teachers personalize education, helping governments improve response. Just now, Vaidya was saying that Google has been doing something for the Bihar floods and all that, helping differently able people live more independently, helping conserve energy and protect the environment. Now AI stops becoming a business tool; it becomes a human progress tool. But there is one condition: technology must always begin with human problems, not with technological solutions. Young innovators often ask me, "When can I build with? What can I build with AI?" I encourage them to ask, "Whose life can I improve with AI?" That's the way you should look at. All innovators should ask themselves actually before they're getting
Yes.
into any innovation. That single question changes innovation forever. It shifts us from invention to impact. The second thought I want to leave this is the next generation of unicorns should not only be valued by their market capitalization, they should also be valued by their societal contribution. The companies that will earn trust are those that use AI responsibly, ethically, inclusively. And finally, I believe AI should democratize opportunity, not concentrate privilege. If a child in a remote village can receive the same quality education as a student in a global city because of AI, that is meaningful innovation. If healthcare becomes accessible to millions because of AI, and of course at a very cheaper rate, that is meaningful innovation. If entrepreneurs can solve problems that governments alone cannot, that is meaningful innovation. So my appeal to young innovators is this: don't build AI because it is fashionable. Build AI because it makes humanity stronger. Because the greatest innovation has never been about technology. It has always been about improving lives. Well, three questions before building any AI solution. Ask yourself. These are the three questions people should ask. Does it solve a real human problem? Does it create trust? Will society be better because this exists? If the answer is yes, build it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful insights. And I would like to say, ki, yes, these are very important key takeaways. Yes, is it before using anything in AI, is it creating impact to the society, and or it is resolving any human जो भी problem चल रहा है related to the humanity or anything, whether it is resolving or not. So yes, Sangeeta ji, we have traveled quite a lot. That we have spoken about AI, mental well-being, and many more things. So if we had 1 minute to inspire millions of young people across the world, so what is the one message would you like to share to help them own technology rather than let technology own them?
Yeah, sure. So one point which Anita ma'am mentioned was, I mean, I really liked it. If you see the letters or emails, earlier we used to write it. I mean, you should think, you should write, spend a lot of time writing emails. But today you just put your thoughts and AI can give you a good, I mean, better English and which you might not have written few years back. So,
Yes,
here my message would be just simple that use technology as a tool, not as your master. AI is really incredibly powerful, and that's an opportunity, but a danger also. Why? Because nowadays at work also, if you see people just blindly copy, and when you ask questions related or here and there related to that topic, what they have worked on, they do not have the answer. So this is they have just simply copied it, and they need to be very careful about it because AI can give answers, but it cannot give you understanding. So your understanding it what is what makes you special. So today, use AI to learn faster, use AI to do your repetitive work, explore possibilities, amplify your creativity, but do not outsource your curiosity, judgment, and responsibility to a machine. So
Yes.
yeah, and now, because now see, if you see, the technology is very powerful, so it will be powerful if we control it, and when we let it control us, it can be a danger.
Wonderful. Yes, Gagan sir.
No, I was just trying to add that what Sangeeta has mentioned, it's really right. We should know where, what to do with AI. Another important question now is where not to use AI, right? That should be a
Yes.
very important thing we should remember and ask this question where I will not use the AI. Like, for example, if I go for a meeting, I know what I have to speak in the meeting, I have my notes. But then
Yeah,
I ask AI, can you just check my mailbox quickly and let me know if some point I'm missing, which I did not cover for the meeting agenda, right? That's what I can do, but I
Yes.
can't say, you please make agenda for me for the whole meeting because I don't have anything with me.
agreed.
Yes. Rightly said. We can also summarize the emails and we can have some quick checks before going any meeting. Yes, you have said wonderfully. And as International Youth Day is approaching on 12th of August, so I want to speak directly to the young people who are watching us or who would be watching our recordings. So I would say that your generation is not simply going to live in the AI era, you are going to shape it. You will decide it whether AI becomes something that distracts you or that it develops you, or whether it reduces your curiosity or expands it. So I would like to ask all the panelists one short message which you would like to share to our youths. Gagan sir.
I think I would just say that simple sentence is that you use AI to make your future what you want to be and don't let AI decide what you will become. That is the message I want to say.
Great. Anita ma'am.
I would just say, let AI be a blessing and not a curse.
Very good. Yeah.
Wonderful. Vaidyanathan sir.
Yes. One simple sentence: use AI very accurately, and teach the other next generation and your older generation also how to use AI in a positive way, and make it usable for humanity, as well as to prevent something happens to animals also. That also you have to take into consideration. You develop some AI to prevent animal cruelty, whatever way it is. So that's what I want to say.
Wonderful. Adapa sir.
Well, every generation is remembered by the tools it created, but every civilization is remembered by the wisdom with which it used those tools. And let our generation be remembered not for creating the smartest machines, but for remaining the wisest humans.
Wonderful sir. Sangeeta ma'am.
So I would say, don't compete with AI for speed, compete on judgment, creativity, curiosity, and purpose.
Very good. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And it was really wonderful conversation with you all. I would say that it started with just a one question: are we using technology or is technology using us? And perhaps the answer is not about choosing between humans and technology. The real opportunity is to make technology work for human potential. And because we don't need to fire technology, we need to become more intentional about the way we are using it. Our intention is ours, our choices are ours, our value are ours, and humanity must remain ours. So to every young person who are watching us today, don't allow technology to decide the person you have become. Use it to become more capable, but stay deeply human. So I would like to thank all the panelists.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for giving your precious time, your wonderful insights, your experience. And I'm 100% sure that our young generation or the podcast who are watching us definitely they would have got some insights about AI, how we can use AI for our benefits, for the society benefits. So, Adapa sir, thank you so much for reminding us that innovation needs governance, vision, and institution that can stand beyond individuals. And Vaidyanathan sir, thank you so much for bringing the conversation towards attention, digital well-being, and the importance of responsible oversight. And Gagan sir, thank you so much for helping us to look behind the screen to privacy, cybersecurity, AI governance, and the responsibility that comes with the digital power. And
Pleasure is
Sangeeta
mine.
ma'am, thank you so much. Sangeeta ma'am, thank you for bringing the future of work, innovation, and the human skills young professionals will need about this conversation. And Anita ma'am, thank you so much for giving your precious time in your from your busy schedule from USA and bringing us back to the something incredible important, the inner human experience, self-awareness, peace, and meaningful conversation. So thank you so much everyone for your once again for giving this panel discussion and to some extent I would say कि ये conversation where it has become powerful and I'm sure that youth generation will take some key takeaways and implement in their digital lives or daily lives and use AI consciously and not unconsciously. So
Thank
thank
you
you so
all.
much everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Have a
you very
nice
much.
rest of
Thank
the
you.
evening. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Peace and love, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
so
Bye.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Bye.
thank you so much.
Bye.
So friends, if you like this conversation, please like and comment us and share us your valuable insights and stay curious, stay conscious and stay connected. Thank you so much and have a great time.